3, 2, 1, let's boogie. Okay, so congruent triangles. This is just a short one, just maybe a reminder for some who are going into grade 9 or further. Some little tricks if you wanted to show when two triangles are basically identical. So congruent means that all the sides are equal and all the angles are also equal. So they can be basically placed on top of each other. So these two triangles, although I've shifted them around, they kind of look maybe a little bit different, but they are pretty much the same. So there are kind of 4 things that I want to talk about. There are a few others as well. Sometimes, the right angle one showing congruency with the hypotenuse and a shorter side. Okay, you can look that up if you like. So I wanted to concentrate just on these 4, basically showing congruency. So the first one that we have, so this one, S and S and S, just that means that if you are going to show that, for example, this side is equal, let's call it, side 1 is equal to side 1 here. So the length of them are the same. Okay, so that's 1. Let's say this side 2 is equal to side 2 here. And then let's say side 3 was equal to side number 3. So this we call side, 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 okay, relationship. And if this is true, then that means right away that both of the triangles would be true. All right, so that's one item that we have. Now, another relationship that we have that we can do is, here is the second one, which is side, angle, side. So if you can show, so for instance, this would be, let's say, side 1, side 2, and then this is your angle right here. So this is side, angle, side. So if you can show that, and in this case, let's say if this was side 1, this was side 2, and this was your angle, okay, if you can show that those are the same, or you find that they're the same, then again, those two triangles are congruent. All right, so that's another relationship that we have, and that's what you would look for. And notice that the angle does have to be sandwiched in. It can't be, somewhere on the opposite side. So it's basically sandwiched between the two sides that you know. All right, so that is the second relationship that you would have. Now here is your third relationship, which is angle, side, angle. So for instance, if you have an angle, okay, so angle 1, let's say angle 2, and then this is your side right here. So now the side is sandwiched in between the angles. And if you can show that, and let's say this was angle 1, angle 2, and then that was your side, so that those ones were the same. Again, so in this case, so angle, side, angle, that would show you that those two triangles are the same. You don't need to show anything else. That's what we would have. So that automatically means all the sides are the same and all the angles are the same. And now, the final one, which is angle, angle, side. All right, so if you can show that, it's kind of an extension of this one as well. So if you find that two, okay, so if you have, okay, so here is angle and then a side. So let's say if you have an angle, okay, and then an angle, and then let's say this was the side, and then you can find, okay, the relationship. Let's say if this was the angle, and then the angle, and then the side here, and again that would show you that those two triangles are congruent. Now, one neat thing again is when you're learning these, you kind of memorize them. It is nice to know, why these ones are true, and you can think of it. Okay, what happens, if how did someone come about with these? Because clearly it's not me. These have been around through history. So how do these things come about? You can think for yourself. What would happen. So for example, for this one, okay, you can just kind of play around and see what happens. Okay, if you change the side, if you made the side a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, what impact does it have on the angles? And you would notice that okay, it would actually change the angles, and then the angles wouldn't necessarily be the same. So try to, when you're learning these things, also think like, if I'm going to change them, right, something, if I change a side, what happens, you know, or if I change an angle, what happens, so that you're not just kind of plainly memorizing them per se, but you have some intuition of why these are true. Okay, and I'll leave that up to you to try to see, and I encourage you to do that. All right. Okay, so that's it for this video. Okay, so these are very nice little relationships for congruent triangles. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in a future video. Bye, everyone.